Hi, my good friends. My name again, James Mbele. I'm a motivational speaker and an author. And this time round, I really want to talk about a topic which could help us to help the world. I remember one time I was in South Africa, and I was in a place called Soweto. I came across some areas which looked like oases in the desert, and these guys had done some boreholes, and they had done very good vegetation, and that really attracted me. That's about 5 years ago. Believe you me, I told myself then, and I looked at it and said that I wish I could have a similar thing back home in Kenya, which would be there not only for myself but for others. And believe you me, I've done the best I could, and I kept on always thinking about it, and it kept on going back into my mind and coming everywhere I go. Every time I come back to Kenya and I'm traveling, I would be seeing myself in that kind of nature where I'm in trees and birds are singing. And one time I can tell you, out of my own mentorship, I tell people that what the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And also, what you allow your mind to think about most of the time, you eventually become or get it. And that is what happened. Few years later, out of my own personal sacrifice, I came into a point where I had raised some small monies here and there, which enabled me to do a borehole in my home village. And that was about 2 years ago. Believe you me, when this happened, it cost me some little amount of money to get the borehole drilling, pump, water towers, and solar panels, and water came in huge amounts. I can tell you, just 3, 4, 5 meters from my main door of the house where I park my car, I got that kind of water, which came out luckily fresh, and I decided to do what I've always thought about, and that is philanthropy. And the philanthropy in this kind of way, I decided to give it for free to the village. And since that time to date, anybody who knows me has come to my village. They draw water for free. Some of them are doing whatever they want, and I'm always excited. That is giving back to humanity. Believe you me, that was not the end of it. A time came when the guy who did the borehole for me decided to come and request if we could partner. I can tell you, what your creator has for you will always come. Even when there are barriers, the barriers will be removed. And this guy came to me requesting for partnership, and we partnered. He's a geologist, so he can do the survey, and he wanted me to do with a few shares which I could contribute. Also savings out of what I've been just doing around the world. And I did contribute into buying the drilling machines, and today as we talk, we've gone out there and we are drilling. But I'm looking forward to changing status quo by doing some free boreholes for a few institutions. Number one, the few churches I've supported a number of churches. Number one, an African Inland Church and a Catholic Church, which have done my best. I've done almost 70-80% of the charges. I'm doing it. Why? Because a time comes when you have to be there for others. But now what I have in mind, turning Africa green, and that is what you call food security. I'm imagining we need to do it not only for Kenya, but for Africa as a whole. And it's drilling the boreholes, assisting some of those who can't afford. Those who can afford, they come in as clients, we do for them, good enough. But for those who can't afford, we still extend that upper hand of giving them a borehole in a village, and make sure that the management is done in such a way that few families can plant their vegetables, they can plant their maize, their greens, and whatever it is. Turning Africa green is the motto. It's called food security for every other family. This is something which I'm thinking of having it done in much a bigger way. If you're there and you're listening, my mission is, come in, let's share the little we have, put our hands together, and let's share so that we can help turn Africa green. There's a lot of insecurity these days because rains are not enough. Most of people, like from my country, Kenya today, I can tell you for the last 2 seasons, we've not happened to have any good harvest. Why? Because rains come and disappoint people at the last minute. So what are we doing? Let's put our hands together and they penetrate the ground, get to the aquifers under the ground, which is about 100 meters, 200, 300, 400 meters underground. Let's bring that water to the service. Let's give it to humanity. Let's change the beliefs people have. They were not born to suffer. They were born to enjoy. And we can do that together. Believe you me, let's put our hands together. If you are listening to what I'm saying today, and you feel touched that we want to change status quo, let's come together and give a helping hand. Small, bit by bit, we will change and change a lot of people's lives. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm going to be having a lot of videos on the places where we are drilling boreholes and show you the success which has come. If you happen to be lucky to get to see the few videos which I'm going to put across, I've turned my home village into like a Garden of Eden. I kept on talking about it 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Today, it's real. I'll also put in a few videos so that you can see the farms which have come out of that. We are doing vegetables and everybody's just coming to collect, but water we are giving for free. We want to give it not only for my village, we want to give it to many villages in Kenya and across Africa. Thank you so much.